Wealth isn't just built in isolation. True intergenerational wealth is created when two generations come together, combining the power of compounding with discipline. Is it possible? Absolutely. What if I showed you a simple yet powerful framework where both the generations build wealth together, like a double engine SIP, systematic investment planning? Sounds interesting, right? This isn't just a theory, it's a practical, easy to execute model. A very structured approach that enables one generation to support and uplift the next, not just financially but emotionally too. It builds more than just a corpus, it builds connections, confidence, and continuity. A financial cushion for the next generation to take wise decisions in their future. A shared mission that binds the families together on their journey to the true wealth being. This is Sunita Rao from Sanaita, the trusted platform of wealth coaches who teach comprehensive financial planning in multilingual languages. I will be showing you on an Excel how to do this entire double engine SIP. It's very simple. You can fill in your own values, your own data, and you can implement the maths behind it. It applies whether you are a young couple or a young family or a middle-aged family or a senior family. The mathematics matters, and you can do it with ease, with confidence, and with a certainty. Let me take you ahead how we are doing this Excel calculations. Let's start the benefit which you get when you have a double engine SIP. So what is a double engine SIP? Is a concept which you will be understanding as I take you through this calculations process. So why this particular series has been started? Yeah, what is it? So we would like to emphasize that the Crore is the new rule. What it essentially means that at this particular age, if somebody who is say 28 years old or a 25-year-old, for him or her, it is very difficult to fathom what is the Crore in the next 10 years, 15 years, or 30 years down the line. We want to emphasize that the Crore is a normal word which each one of us have to start using it in a daily usage on a daily language, and all our maths or all our finances decisions we have to slowly and shift towards the crores only. Okay. So suppose imagine you're a 20-year-old person and you have a child who is say 3 years. It may or may not be possible, but just hypothetically let us imagine that you're a person who is 28 years old and you have a child who is 3 years. What needs to be done for your child to have 1 crore when he turns 18? Sounds simple, but it is very important to understand why we are doing it. Most of us we link it to say, okay, the child planning we do for the education or the vacations or maybe for his wedding or so many things we may have a planning kind of a thing. But this one, we are essentially trying to say that you are creating 1 crore for 2 or 3 reasons. One essentially is that you're creating a financial cushion for him or her, the child may be a girl or a boy. You're creating a financial cushion to him so that he can take his decisions independently and not under pressure. He need not be in a haste to pick up a job or he need not be in a haste to do some startup. So to give that buffer time where he can take the decisions in peace or at a certain level of risk, he can do it. So for that reasons, we are thinking, okay, we are building the cushion for it. So let us start at that. Suppose today you are age 28 years. I write it over here as 28. So that is your age and your child is say 3 years of age today. Now, if I click on it and what is my intention? My intention is that when the child becomes 18 years of age, I want to create 1 crore for him or her, as I want to say, the gender of the child. So by the time when the child is 18 years, you have how much of time horizon? The investment time horizon is say 15 years from the age of 3 to the age of 18. Now, when we have this 15 years to go, how old will you be at that particular point of time? You'll be 28 plus 15 years. That means you'll be around 43 years. Now you have understood the time frame. When your child today, who is say 3 years of age, and you are 28, the day he becomes 18 years, you will be 43 years. And the investment horizon is for a period of 15 years. And what is your age as on date? This is 28 years. And we have understood that the day when the child becomes 18, you are 43 years of age. Now let us make certain presumptions. The rate of the investment instruments is 12%. This instrument can be anything. It can be mutual funds, it can be ULIPs, it can be NPS, it can be any product. So irrespective of the product, let us hypothetically imagine that the investment return is giving 12% in the next 15 years of journey. There is a word called as a nominal rate. You need not worry about it. This is the rate which we are using to calculate the SIP event. And you can usually find out the online calculators. From there also you can do it. But it is for our mathematical calculations, we show it as a nominal rate. And we also presume that your salary is growing at the rate of 10%, not necessarily base salary. It can be your business income also. So if your business income is increasing, say by 10%, and we are trying to say that your investment amount, that means that amount which you're going to invest every year, even that is also being stepped up by 10%. So this can be anything. It can be 10% or this can be 8%, whatever it is. But for the calculation purpose, let us understand it is a 10%. Now, what is my first target? My first target is that I want to make my child 1 crore when he becomes 18 years of age. And let us understand this 1 crore is not an amount for education planning or vacation or wedding and all. It is, as I'm trying to understand, it is an amount which we are trying to build it as a financial cushion. What is the purpose of this? Certainly, why we are emphasizing on this point is that it two or three important points. First of all, you're inculcating the discipline of financial investment in the child when he becomes 18 years of age without actually saying too much or without actually forcing him to start investing, which most of the time it happens. The previous generation, they insist on the next generation, you should start investing, you should start insisting without actually showing them the way through. So this approach will actually help you in making your child understand the value of the financial investing discipline. That is number one. Second, two, it gives him an ease of taking decisions wherever he wants to make in his life. That is the second part. And now, what we try to understand, to achieve 1 crore at the age of 18 years, the child is becoming 18 years of age, how much is the lump sum amount which you need to invest, provided your instrument is giving you a return of 12%? It works out that it is 18,26,963. Very simple. Is it not sounding too big or too small? For some of you, it may sound too big that I don't have 18 lakhs rupees to invest right now. For a child who is just 3 years old and have so many expenses coming up on the way down the line, I have my EMIs, I have my household expenses, I have my own personal luxury expenses. Yes, in that flux of thoughts or in that so many decisions, this is a very, very important decision which we have to take if we have to keep the relations between the parent and the child sustainable with a lot of warmth. And as we try to say, the child need not be only given emotional support, he has to be given financial support, and he has to be given n number of other values. The most critical value which we want to say is to inoculate the financial discipline. So agree, maybe this amount is not there, maybe this amount is there. Suppose you do not have this amount, the next option is that we can achieve this by investing 2,39,502 rupees every year on year for the next 15 years. That is the time horizon of investment. For an instrument is giving you a 12% return. How do we calculate this? We calculate it using some FX functions over here. Those of you who are interested in learning in details, you can actually explore this function of FX where you have different financial arguments, and from that you can learn how to calculate this. If those who are not able to calculate this or do not want to enter into that thing, yes, we have very useful calculators. You can pick from there. And the third best alternative is the regular SIP. What we do, we calculate the amount of investment to be done month on month. So it works on to 21,011 rupees, and you're investing systematically every month on month for the next 15 years, which means you're investing for 15 into 12, that is in 180 installments, you're investing the SIPs, and this amount grows and becomes 1 crore at the end of 15 years when the child is 18 years of age. Again, as it may be possible that you may be thinking that this figure is also too big to calculate or for too big for you to invest. So let us take a step forward. There is an alternative way and the most beautiful way of doing it, which is called as the step up SIP. What it essentially means, instead of paying a regular SIP, which is uniform for the next 15 years, we have a different approach of investing, which starts with 12,085 rupees the first year, and this amount increases by 10% every year on year. So in the due course, what happens? This is ideal way because as your salary is also increasing and this SIP amount is also increasing, so it gives you a sustainable way to handle the other expenses which may be there in your initial phase of your livelihood. Having said that, is it not achievable? It gives you a lot of sense of achievement when you could have reached the first milestone. What was your first milestone? To achieve, or to rather to say, to give 1 crore to your child when he becomes 18 years. Let us keep in our mind, this is different from the other goals. As I repeatedly say, this is a separate goal which we are trying to build because the current scenarios, the economic scenarios, how it is going, everything is so volatile. So when we are bringing a child to this planet, there is a huge responsibility to see that we are giving him the best kind of a thing. And the best gift which we can give the child is the financial quotient. That quotient is required for him to take independent decisions and the best decisions of his life, not under pressure of the social circumstances because of which he should not be taking the wrong decisions. Now, that was the phase one. We are very clear. Now, here comes the magic of the double engine. Why I say the double engines, you'll understand as I take you forward to the next level. Now, in the second phase, what we do, now that your child has 1 crore at his disposable, he has this amount with him at the age of 18. Now, what is the next step which you want to do? You want to give him 10 crores amount by the time you retire. As we understood, when the child is 18 years of age, that day you are 43 years of age, you will be 43, and you have still 17 years to go till your retirement. So that is another fruitful period, or you can say that is a very active phase where you can contribute to your child's journey of financial discipline and the financial wealth creations. So in this journey, when you retire, say, on the age of 60, how old will be the child? The child is 35. So he's in a very mature, stable stage of his life where he has many things has been sorted. Maybe he has already started into the employment. Maybe he has started his business. Many parameters must be there. But still, as a backup or as a cushion, we will continue with the commitment for the next 17 years till the retirement. We'll continue building the wealth for him. This is where the magic of the intergenerational wealth comes. Intergenerational wealth is meant to be created not after the life of the person, which means that not after the death of the person. It means to be created while during both the generations are alive. Here, the magic of the compounding happens when two generations come together and they focus and they take it forward to the next target. Now, we continue with the same return, that is, say, 12% of rate, and your salary growth is, say, 10%. And assuming that this 10% growth rate is what is that amount? This is the stepping up of the SIP. As I mentioned, we have to have a clarity that the salary growth is different, which is based on your skill set, your company's performance, and all those things. And the growth rate is the stepping up the SIP, which is more of your voluntary choice and more of your financial discipline. Now, coming to our point, what is it we want? We want to give 10 crores by the time the child is 35 years of age. Now, let us come back to the timeline. You started the journey when the child was 3, you were 28. When the child is 18, you were 43. And now, till the age of 60, that means till your retirement, when the child is in a healthy, mature, and a smart adult, he is at 35 years of age. And you are continuing with the financial investments on and on as a cushion for him so that he takes the wise decisions forward. Now, the next target is what? 1 crore. The target is to achieve 10 crores at the age of 60, or in other words, when 35, when the child is 35. And how much is the amount required? If I calculate, I understand that I need to invest 1 crore 45 lakhs at this particular point of time. Since now we reached into the second phase. How much I have to invest at this particular point of time? I need to invest 1 crore 45 lakhs 64,434. And let us remember, we already have built 1 crore. So when I've already built 1 crore, I'm left with investing only 45 lakhs 64,434. That is the point where I have to invest over here. What if I do not have 45 lakhs exclusively for this particular goal? There's the other alternative is that I can invest annually. I can invest annually for how many years? For the next 17 years. And how much is the amount which I'm going to invest? I'm going to invest 5,72,416 every year on year. Possible, achievable, doable. Yes, make it in your mind, a thought process. Yes, it is possible. Agreed. At this point of time, when you're standing, you may find that 5,72,000 is a big amount, but no. After 15 years down the line, that becomes a very small part of your entire income. And then continuing with the journey of investments of the SIP, we start investing 50,218 if you're choosing the path of SIP. So instead of annual, you can do SIPs every month on month. For how many years you will be doing? You'll be investing SIP for the next 17 years. And how much we have decided on? It comes to 50,218 on the condition that the market instrument is giving us a return of 12%. And historically, we have seen that the markets have delivered on an average 12% of the return. The only condition, the only rationale is that the investors have to stay invested in the process of wealth creations without deviating from the path. Any erratic decisions like we withdraw the amount or we stop the SIPs or we delay the decision of investing, it kills the entire process of wealth creations. Now, you may be wondering that why did I not do the step up SIP at this particular point of time? No, we are not doing this step up SIP over here, which we are presuming is that, but the child is 18 and he's still 35. He may have picked up a job or an employment at the age of 25. When he has started the journey of 25 or he has started the investing at 25, the double engine effect starts now. So he's also simultaneously investing along with you. And that too for his goal. All this amount which you have been investing is only for the child's goal, for your child. And now your child is mature, stable, sensible, understood, learned the maths of finances. Now he will pick up the journey of investments from the age of 25 and he can go on till 35 or 65 as and when his goals keeps building out and how he wants to take his life ahead in his way forward. But yes, your role from his 18 years to 35 is as a parent, continue to do so, irrespective of what the outcome is. Like irrespective of how he does his things, you will be committed or you're promising to give a stable economic financial background for your child. So that is the logic of calling this as a double engine SIP. Having understood this, there may be an element of doubt, or you may be feeling that is this 12,000 too much? Is this 50,000 too much? So let me put you across through a small sheet, or I can say a small table, which will show you how how it is so simple for you. Now, let us see the investment timeline. When the child is 3 years of age, suppose your monthly income is say 1 lakh rupees, and we decided that 12,085 is my first SIP. I'll be investing 12,085 for the first year, and which appears to be 12% of my income amount, huge though it is, but no, it is not huge. If it comes with power of love, power of commitment, and the intention and the responsibility that you want to give the best life for your child, this is a much needful and an intentional amount of investment. And next, when we observe that every year on year, when it is growing by 10%, you can observe how it is growing every year by 10%. At the same time, observe that even your salary is incrementally growing at 10% for the next 15 years. That means till the child becomes 18 years of age. Here, do not worry about the number 17. It just means the beginning of investment. The amount accumulated is always calculated at the end of 17th year, which means at the end of, which means the beginning of the 18th year. Now, let us see how much it is coming up. If you notice, uniformly it is 12% of your salary year on year. So there is a financial stability also for you. It's not an expense, it is an investment. Now, let us take it forward. What happens? Now, when the child is 18 years of age, your income was 3,79,750 per month, and the SIP, as you have realized, we have stabilized it at 50,000 rupees. The reason why we have stabilized it and not given an incremental is that now at this point of time, when you are 43 years of age, you will be also having other your own personal goals like building your own retirement corpus. So when you are more focused on building the retirement corpus, instead of stepping up the SIP for your child, you can start creating SIPs for yourself, or in fact, stepping up the SIP amounts for your retirement goals. So we have stabilized this SIP regular, which is from the 18 years to the point of your retirement, that is when the child is 18 to 35 years. And now you see the percentage of the SIP, it comes down so slow kind of a thing. Do not worry, do not feel that, oh, you're contributing less. No, at the end of 60 years, you are giving him 10 crores in hand as a gift, or you can say as a cushion for him to take the right decisions. I hope this learning was very good, and you can download this Excel sheet, you can play with the numbers, and you can come back and say that yes, this was the most really wonderful learnings you had in your life. So financial decisions, investments is not complicated. Only the intent of investing is complicated. Once you achieve that, yes, I need to do it, and with a clear-cut goal, with a clear-cut target, and with a systematic way, everything is achievable. Let's have a happy wealth creation journey, and that too with the next generation. So intergenerational wealth is the key word in the next 30, 40, 50 years of that. No longer the wealth is created by independent generations. It is now being created by two generations together, which binds them by the wealth, binds them by the love, binds them by the health, and binds them as an overall family too.